Imagine living on a tropical island so far from the mainland that most of the food you eat travels roughly 2,500 miles across the Pacific just to reach your plate. Where a basic starter home runs well over $1 million. Where about 2.5 million tourists show up in a typical recent year, while locals face water restrictions. And where one of the deadliest wildfires in modern American history erased a historic town in a single afternoon. This is Maui. To most of the world, it's the ultimate vacation postcard for the people who live here. Paradise comes with a price tag most tourists never see. They still do all the normal stuff: buy groceries, raise kids, work 2 jobs, fight over water, and for thousands of them, rebuild from the ashes. They just do it on an island built by 2 volcanoes in the middle of the Pacific. On the mainland, you run out of milk. You drive to the store. Here, that milk already traveled 2,500 miles to get there in the first place. The map explains a lot. Hawaii is one of the most isolated population centers on Earth. Roughly 2,500 miles from the U.S. mainland, nearly 3,800 miles from Japan. Maui is the second largest island in the chain, about 727 square miles, a little smaller than Rhode Island. Most people picture it as one flat tropical island. It isn't. Maui was built by 2 volcanoes. The rugged West Maui Mountains sit on one side. On the other, Haleakala rises over 10,000 feet, still technically active, just quiet for now. A low strip of land connects the two, which is why locals call it the Valley Isle. Tourists fly straight to the beachfront resorts in Wailea or Kaʻanapali. Most residents live in the Central Valley around Kahului and Wailuku or up on the cooler slopes of Haleakala. Living on an island built by lava makes for stunning scenery. It also makes for a brutal supply chain. Something catches people off guard when they move here from the mainland. Paradise is expensive, and not by a little. A gallon of milk can run around $9. Eggs cost several dollars more than on the mainland. A basic grocery run can easily hit triple digits. Maui doesn't grow enough grain, dairy, or staples to feed itself. Across Hawaii, somewhere around 85 to 90% of all food consumed is imported, depending on the year. Running out of milk here isn't a quick errand. It's a break in a supply chain that stretches thousands of miles across open ocean. Gas is among the most expensive in the country. Electricity in Hawaii has historically ranked among the priciest in the nation too, largely because the grid has relied so heavily on imported fuel. Locals adapt. They stock up at Costco, buy dry goods in bulk, and learn fast that island living means an extra charge on almost everything. That's just the normal cost. Wait until the supply ships fall behind. So how do people this far out keep their kitchens stocked? For much of Maui, it comes down to one commercial harbor, Kahului Harbor. Cargo vessels pull in loaded with everything from food and household goods to building materials and cars. On the mainland, arriving Wednesday means Wednesday. On Maui, it means hoping the weather holds. When storms disrupt those shipments, shelves empty fast. Locals keep a backup pantry stocked year-round, not just for storm season, but because the whole island runs on cargo that has to cross an ocean first. Staying fed takes planning. Keeping a roof over your head is where things get harder. Single-family homes on Maui routinely sell for well over $1 million. Years of demand from second home buyers and vacation rentals have squeezed an already tight housing supply. For local families, the choice is brutal. Hand over a huge share of income for rent, move farther from work, or leave Maui for good. That cost has already pushed out local families, including Native Hawaiian families, who can no longer afford to stay where they grew up. To make it work, it's common for adults to work 2 or 3 jobs, or for 3 generations to share one house. Housing tension is one fight. The fight over water runs even deeper. About 2.5 million visitors come to Maui in a typical recent year, far outnumbering the roughly 165,000 people who actually live here. That imbalance puts real pressure on the island's most precious resource, freshwater. On the drier side of the island, resorts, hotels, and golf courses draw enormous volumes of water, while some upcountry residents face restrictions during dry spells. But this isn't only about drought. It's about history. For generations, streams were diverted to fuel large-scale agriculture and development. Today, native Hawaiian farmers and water rights advocates are still fighting in court and in policy over how much water stays in the streams versus how much gets diverted. So kalo, the staple crop that's fed Hawaiian families for over 1,000 years, can keep growing. It's a constant tug-of-war between tourism revenue and the people who call this home. Want to see how isolated Maui can feel? Drive east. Hāna sits about 52 miles from Kahului, reached only by the famous road to Hāna. Hundreds of curves and dozens of narrow, one-lane bridges hugging the cliffs. For tourists, it's a scenic day trip. For the roughly 1,000 people who live there, it's the only road out. Run out of propane and you wait. Need serious medical care, and you're looking at a long drive around the island on that same cliffside road. When heavy rain triggers a landslide or drops a tree across the highway, Hāna can be cut off entirely for days. Families here lean on fishing, hunting, backyard fruit, and each other. It's one of the last places on Maui where life still runs on that kind of self-reliance. Then came the day that changed Maui for good. Hurricane Dora passed more than 700 miles south of Hawaii that morning. It never made landfall, but it helped whip up winds that were already sweeping the island, driving them down hard off the slopes of the West Maui Mountains. Years of changing land use had left parts of West Maui covered in dry, flammable vegetation, primed to burn. Once the fire caught, it moved faster than anyone could outrun. Within hours, it swallowed Lahaina, the historic capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom. More than 2,200 structures were damaged or destroyed. Front Street, the heart of the old town, burned to the ground. 102 people died. It remains the deadliest U.S. wildfire in over a century. For the people of Maui, this wasn't a headline. It was their neighbors, their co-workers, their homes, gone in an afternoon. The story didn't end with the fire. While official aid was still mobilizing, locals were already moving. Jet skiers, boat captains, and 4x4 drivers ran their own supply lines into West Maui. Food, water, gas, medical supplies, to neighborhoods cut off from the rest of the island. Then came a second fight, protecting the land itself. Reports surfaced of investors approaching fire victims with offers to buy scorched properties for cash. The community pushed back hard, under the banner Maui Strong. Residents demanded protections against speculative buyers and pressed to make sure Lahaina got rebuilt by and for the people who'd always lived there. The Lahaina banyan tree, planted in 1873, was scorched black in the fire. Within months, it was producing new green leaves. It became the symbol of everything that followed. Away from the heat and the crowds, locals head upcountry. Between 2,000 and 4,000 feet up the slopes of Haleakala sit towns like Makauau, Kula, and Pukalani. Cooler, mistier, almost a different island. Pine trees grow next to tropical flowers. Cattle ranches sit above the cloud line. Farming is a way of life up here. Upcountry ranches supply local beef and vegetables, including the kula onions that show up on menus statewide. City water doesn't reach every property this high, so many homes catch rainwater off a roof into tanks that hold thousands of gallons. It's a quieter, more self-sufficient life, perched above the tourist coastal low. Forget the $80 resort dinner. Local life runs on food trucks, roadside stands, and beach parks. Maui's food blends native Hawaiian, Japanese, Filipino, Portuguese, and Chinese influences. A legacy of generations of plantation workers who brought their food with them. A typical weekend meal is a plate lunch, 2 scoops of rice, macaroni salad, kalua pork, or a poke bowl straight from the local fish market. After work, life moves to the water, not on a book boat tour, but in an outrigger canoe with a local paddling club, or surfing a hukapa, or at a beach park barbecue with music going until dark. For many locals, Hāna, community, and aloha aren't tourism slogans. They're just how the week rolls. Keeping an island this isolated running has never been easy, and Maui is changing again. The island's last commercial sugar plantation closed in 2016, and much of that former plantation land is now being waived for diversified agriculture, renewable energy, and conservation. Solar farms paired with battery storage are becoming a bigger share of Maui's power grid. Part of a longer push toward 100% renewable energy. In Lahaina, clearing the wreckage and rebuilding homes, schools, and roads is expected to take years. It's slow, it's hard, and it's being driven by a community that refuses to get priced out of its own home. Most people look at Maui and see a vacation destination. The people who live there see something else, a home that costs them more every year, and one they're not willing to give up. They're not fighting to keep paradise pretty for the postcard. They're fighting to keep it theirs. The water in the streams, the land under the ash, the neighbors who showed up with boats and trucks when no one else could get through. That's what's actually being protected out here. Not a view, a way of holding on to each other. If you like Maui, hit like and subscribe. The next place we take apart might surprise you.